I was around maybe $20,000 in debt in credit card. New year 2026, I've made almost $200,000 already.
He was like number one and like number five on the leaderboard on Top Step.
It's been insane. It's literally been like an overnight change for me.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we have another case study with my boy Isaac here. So he's been killing it recently in the group. He's done, you tell him how much you've done in payouts since you've been in the group.
I mean, I just joined January, so New Year 2026, I've made almost $200,000 already. So it's been crazy.
Yeah, is that straight to the bank or is that like in payouts? Because I remember you were sending a message talking about how you took like $100,000 in payouts like a month ago.
Yeah, so almost 200. So 75K in February, 50K in March, and already 50K this month of April. And we're barely in 9th of April. It's barely 9th of April. So yeah.
Yeah, so that would be what, over like $100,000 in payouts, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, good shit. Yeah, no, it's very, very crazy, bro. If you guys don't know, basically Isaac, he was like number one and like number five on the leaderboard on Top Step. Low-key kind of mogged me. I was number 3 on the leaderboard at one point, and he overtook me, and then he got number 1 with a 50K PNL in a day, which is absolutely crazy, bro. Super proud of you for that, for achieving that, bro. When I saw that in the group, I was honestly astonished, bro. Like no glaze. That was actually crazy to see. So, nah, good stuff on that. But yeah, basically, guys, same thing as the other case study. Just gonna be asking Isaac about his journey, how he got to this point where he's at right now, and yeah, let's get right into it. So, first question that I do want to ask you is, what was your trading like overall before you ended up joining the group? What was the overall situation that you were in, etc.?
Well, I started trading December 2024, and I was still in school. I was going to university, just studying for mechanical engineering, and just learning simple stuff. I started with the TDR bootcamp, learning the ICT concepts. I went straight to evals. I didn't go straight to paper trading, nothing like that. And I mean, it was good at the start, just trading honestly the inverse fair value gap model, just no liquidity sweep, inverse fair value gap, saw that, and then from there started adding more concepts into it. But that's kind of how I started, and yeah, from there just learning and a lot of losing and learning, really. I mean, it's been the first 8 months I've definitely been struggling, where just blowing a lot of accounts and a lot of bad habits, but we got there eventually.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the typical, bro. You said TGR bootcamp, right?
Yeah, I mean, just free YouTube. I think that's how a lot of people started. So
Yeah. No, I mean, that's how I started as well. I mean, he really changed the game. Me personally, that's how I got into trading, through TGR's bootcamp. So yeah, but in terms more about the situation that you were in when you were talking about blowing accounts and stuff like that, I mean, like in terms of your situation, like were you working a job? Like what were you doing before?
So yeah, like I said, I was in school. I was working at Lowe's at the time, making 15 an hour. That was just a lot of pressure. I mean, doing mechanical engineering, I had like I don't want to say the 6-7 classes literally, and literally that was just overtaking my time. It was very stressful because while in school, like I did like mechanical engineering and whatnot, but I just feel like I was wasting my time. There's these other kids who are putting more effort than I was, and they look like they got it, and I'm just there, and I hate school to begin with, and I was good at it, but I just hated it, and I was like, dude, I got to do something. And I just started learning about day trading through social media. You were asking like blowing accounts, how I was dealing with that, or
yeah.
Just a lot of pressure for sure, because I just didn't want to go to school at all. And I don't know, growing up, I've always been someone who likes to help other people, so I kind of put it on me where I have to help everyone, and blowing accounts wasn't helping because I was getting into debt. Just a lot of pressure. I was getting desperate, even depressed, and I just kept doing it. There was like a point where I literally bought 20 Apex accounts, blew them all, reset them the same day, lost them again, and I just lost like a lot of money that day, man. It's just dumb, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
But it happens,
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, it's just that's just the overall Canon event, bro. I mean, if I talked about like my Canon events, I mean, I've said it multiple times on my channel as well, bro. It's just like really rough times. But the thing is, with these Canon events that we face, bro, this is what we need in order to get to the places where we want to be, right? You can't, not every road is going to be, a smooth road. You got to have bumps in the road in order to basically reap the rewards. And that's just the same thing with everything in life, not just in trading. I mean, the only thing is, it is probably like trading is the hardest thing, right? To get over these obstacles that we face, especially in this field. But the fact that you were able to do that is obviously, very, very rare. And the fact that, you're able to get to the spot where you're at right now is obviously very rare as well. So yeah, with that being said, what I wanted to ask you, the next question I wanted to ask you was, before you ended up joining the group, what other stuff did you end up trying? I know you talked about, watching free content on YouTube and stuff like that, but were you in any other mentorships, like courses, other groups?
Yeah, I was in one other mentorship. It was with Ava Trades. He's a good trader. I've learned a lot from him as well. I only really tried him, but honestly, I never really took advantage of it. Just me growing up, being introverted, I'm not gonna engage with the community like that, to be honest. And I would just hop on in his lives, and I would learn a lot through the lives, just the way that he trades, the way that he thinks. But if not, most how I learned was really just through the free content on YouTube, through a lot of people, a lot of traders, especially you. So that's kind of how I picked up my stuff. But mentorships, just him. He's been
Got you.
Yeah.
And how long did it actually take for you to see your first real result? From day one of joining the program to getting your first payout in the program. How long did it actually take?
So with you?
Yeah, just in the group. Whenever you joined, how long did it take for you to get your first payout in there?
So I think literally a week or two after joining your Discord, yeah. And it was a max payout with Top Step. It was 25,000. So I kind of forgot what ended up happening, but at that time I couldn't even afford your premium,
Yeah.
your premium, and I was like, bro, can we figure something out, like some splits payments or something?
Yeah.
I was very desperate, and I just wanted to try again with the new community, see if I could pick it up with a new community, pick it up with a new mentor, because I just wasn't doing well. And it's not that Ava was bad or anything, but it's just my decision making and all of that. So I just wanted to try again.
Yeah.
And I knew what I was doing. I already had about a year now of experience trading. So from there I just needed a little bit more guidance, see what you had to offer, see your community, and it did help. I mean, if anything, what you helped me most on, what really changed everything, was that video. I think it's titled how I made $35,000 in 6 days and what it takes. You're kind of talking there how it's really about building a routine. You talked something about pressure, I can't quite remember, but that video basically told me all right, I definitely got to step it up and everything. And I invested into a whole whiteboard. I plan out my days. Everything is routine, and I just try to be consistent with it. And honestly, that has helped. It's just really improving my day-to-day life that has allowed me to get here. Not even the trading, just my day-to-day life.
Yeah, no, bro. The whiteboard method, bro. That is the method, bro. I spent $170 on a whiteboard from Amazon. Thought it was just bullshit at the time. I was like, yo, why am I spending $170 on whiteboard? But it's a big ass whiteboard, and it's nice. It's good for planning. So for those of you guys who are watching that don't have a routine or struggling to set up a routine, buy a whiteboard. Doesn't matter what size it is, but just have a whiteboard. Write out your plans. I do that every morning. I have a to-do list because I am a very busy person, and it helps me plan out my day. And it is very, very helpful. And a good routine outside of trading, I will always preach this, a very good routine outside of trading will allow you to stick to your rules and stick to your overall system when it comes to trading, on the charts as well, right? All of these things translate. You can't have one or the other, or it is honestly very rare to have one or the other. So yeah, make sure you guys have some sort of routine outside of your trading. Don't let trading control your life, but instead allow yourself to take control over your own trading, right? That's honestly the only way you will see success in this field. With all that being said, I think what you mentioned was before you got that max payout from Top Step, you said that you were broke.
Yeah, I was literally this year, January, I was still in debt. I was around maybe $20,000 in debt in credit card.
Damn.
Debt. Yeah, so it's been insane. It's literally been an overnight change for me. And like I said, it really just takes, first, I guess waking up. Like I said, for me, I had a lot of pressure, 2025, just a lot of things going on around my life, my surroundings, a lot of trouble with stuff. And honestly, one of my biggest things for me has always been my relationship with God. And at that time, I was at my lowest because I always grew up in the church. I was always someone seeking God and always evangelizing, helping people. But 2025, I was just lacking big time. Just thinking, like I said, me, I like to help people. I want to do the most, but I kind of did that to myself where I just added so much pressure, kind of just doing things out of my own hands and not letting God work the way he's supposed to work in my life. And that kind of just messed me all up, but I just took the realization I can't be like this. I have to let God do his part of my life, and then me just follow him, obey him, and do the rest, and it'll all come through. And yeah, I was down $20,000 in debt. I was very desperate, the debt was eating me up. I just didn't know what to do. But I was like, I got to change my mentality. Like, debt is gonna always be there. $20,000, although it's really bad, it's not a huge deal. I'm sure there's people out there with more debt than me, and I just can't let it eat me up, because if I do, then I'm gonna continue to make bad decisions. I'm gonna continue to rush things, and I just, the debt is there. I'm gonna just avoid it. Like,
Yeah.
and I just, and that just cleared up so much for me, because I knew the debt was there, but I wasn't letting it affect my decision making, my mentality, nothing, because I really hated myself for it. But after that, I was like, you know what? Let's just go all in. Let's just fix my life up, and let's think more positive. Let's be more consistent, more disciplined. And I'm telling you, like, within a week or two, 25K payout, and then from there, I was literally getting 25K every single week. So It's been crazy.
Yeah, bro. No, it's crazy, bro. It's really crazy what really changes when you trust God's plan, bro. Like, really,
Yes.
it's very crazy. Obviously, you put in the work to make it happen as well, right? To allow God to bless you with what you have right now. And that is honestly truly amazing, bro. And on top of that, I mean, being able, like, how old are you?
I'm 20 years old right now.
20 years old, right? I mean, thinking about it as well, like, you had that vision for yourself. You're 20 years old, and the $20,000 in debt at 20 years old, to some people, it may seem like a lot, right? It may seem like it's completely, something that you cannot come back from. But talking about like entrepreneurship or like business in general, like, you have to be so delusional in order to get to the point where you want to be, especially, in a field like this where things can literally change in an instant, right? You don't know when your time is going to come, but if you keep doing repeatable actions, and if you keep following your plan, following your system, one day or another, your time will come, right? But as long as you keep doing the same repeatable actions, that is what matters. Focusing on the things that you can control versus, letting the uncontrollable things take a big part of your life, which overall causes you to move away and to stray away from your goals, right? And stray away from something that you can repeat over and over again. So with that being said, I want to kind of touch more upon how you were able to get that, 25K payout when you were 20K in debt, you didn't have any money. How did you go about it? Because did you get a 5K payout or did you get a 25K payout? Was it across 5 accounts?
It was 5 accounts on top step, 5K on each, 25 in total. Yeah.
So talk to us more about, like, did you have those accounts before, or did you just pass them?
Yeah. So because in January, like, I had passed. So what I did in January, I kind of just tracked every single day my P&O. If I were to have taken just the first trade end of the day, and I saw that I ended the month green, positive, and I could have had like 2-3 payouts or something. But because I didn't take my initial losses at first, I would just blow my accounts that day or whatever. And it's like, just dang, bro, my decision making. Because in January, I had passed 15 accounts in total, but got 0 payouts because I blew them within that same week.
Really? Wait, so my bad. You blew them because you said you were taking good trades and you're ready for payouts?
Yeah, so in January, I was just tracking my trading in general, and I just saw that I'm an actual consistent trader. Like, I can do this. I can make it work. But the reason why I was blowing those accounts was just because I was just over trading. Like, I could just not take a loss, basically. I wasn't a good loser. If I take a $200 loss, now I'm like, oh, now I got to make that money back plus whatever profit goal I had that day. But instead, obviously, my losses got bigger to the point where I barely have any drawdown to even continue trading for the next day, or I just blow the account. So I was just tracking that, and I was like, dude, if only I just take my initial losses, which they're small, I could have still had my accounts, could have gotten some payouts, because I was being very consistent. It's just really the decision making. And like I said, like, I kind of had an idea. I knew what I was doing. I know how to trade. Right. So within the first week, I think the last 2 days of January, I started fresh again, got 5 new accounts with TopStep. I passed them, and what really helped me was just thinking like, okay, I just want to be a consistent trader. I don't care about the money. I don't care about anything. I just want to make sure I'm following my rules every day, and that I'm taking good setups, being really patient, and locking myself out. That was very important for me. Just lock myself out, because I could not, get out the charts after that. But just doing those practices really helped me, and I document myself too through social media. So I was documenting like, this is day 1 consistent trader, day 2, day 3, and eventually it led me to getting a max payout. And I wasn't even aiming for a max payout again. Like, I was just trying to be a good trader, just do what I have to do. The money will come, and I ended up getting max payouts weekly after that. It's been great,
yeah. No, talk to us a little bit about like how you went about getting the payout, like more about, I guess, the way that you went about it, because like it's kind of a crazy feat being 20K in debt and still trying to go for a max payout, right? Like, you could have went and have taken out, as whatever you were eligible to take out, but instead you when it ended up going for that max payout. So how did you go about that?
Like I said, I wasn't even aiming for a max payout. I was
Yeah.
just trying to follow my rules and everything. But I think that week was price action was just really good. Every day was really clear for me, and I risked appropriately. Like it's not like I full port or anything. If
Yeah.
anything, the way that I trade, I like to scale in. So I would maybe go a mini or two, see if it's playing out, and if I can add another one, I'll add another one. And I think like the first day I made 3,000, second day 3,000, the third day maybe like 2,000. I'm already close to getting 10K balance. So
Yeah.
so then the last 2 days, I'm like, you know what? I think I can get 1,000 each, and I did. But again, like I said, I wasn't aiming for it. It just kind of just happened, you know.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you're really just trading with no fear. I mean,
Yeah.
which is actually pretty solid, bro. Just like trusting your system and just letting the probabilities play out. Right. Yeah. I mean, like, bro, the one thing that I tell all my students as well is the market really does not care about your feelings, right? Like you can think whatever you want to think. You can act any way that you want to act. But at the end of the day, if you aren't sticking to the things that you can control, it doesn't matter what happens, right? Like the market will literally take everything from you. So you need to have control of yourself before you even think about stepping on the charts, before you even think about placing that trade, right? I think that's what a lot of people struggle with as well, thinking that the market owes them something. And it's just things that, you know, we have to go through, right? Just thinking about, you know, the typical human mind, just typical human psychology. Our minds aren't really built to handle, you know, high pressure, stressful environments day in and day out, right? The amount of stress that we put on ourselves on a daily basis, you know, trying to squeeze a little bit of green profit in the markets every single day, that takes a toll on ourselves, right? So if we aren't able to control ourselves, we have prop firms like TopStep X that has a Project X platform. I think even Tradeovate, they also put in, you know, the manual lockout settings. If you look at their website as well, you can lock yourself out of your account. So what I say to everybody is utilize the resources that these prop firms are literally handing to you on a silver platter, right? Especially with TopStep X, I think they popularized it with, you know, the trade limits, the daily loss limits, all of these things. So you literally have zero excuse to be blowing accounts, no matter what position you're in, right? Okay, maybe you're taking bad trades, etc. But at the end of the day, if you have those risk settings, you have time to reflect on yourself, right? And your trading, and basically understand what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, right? Now, obviously, if you're hitting your daily loss limit repeatedly and you're hitting your trade limit repeatedly and you still feel all the emotions that you're feeling, this is the perfect time to reflect on yourself. So with that being said, I think this would be a very good thing to ask, and I want to ask this right now with your risk settings with TopStep, because I think you were talking about, you know, how you lock yourself out and all these things and utilize those settings. What settings did you end up utilizing, and how did you go about, you know, dealing with getting locked out of your account? What did you do after that allowed you to come back the next day and just basically kill it whenever you had those losing days?
Well, honestly, just the lockout feature. Like, I never put a personal daily loss limit for myself. I did, not in January, but maybe way more back then, when I was like literally just losing every single day. Like, you know, I gotta add a daily loss limit for myself, or else I'm gonna keep blowing accounts, keep spending money. But nowadays, just lock out whenever I get a winning day. If I lose my first trade, I do look for another trade. If I find it, I'll take it, win or loss, whatever happens, I lock out right after that. If I don't find anything, I just completely lock out, because I don't want to think about looking for a trade throughout the day. But just that, and I do it immediately. Like, I try to build this habit where, like, you know, whatever result I get, immediately lock myself out. Like, just do it. And I would send a screenshot to like my friends, be like, hey, I locked myself out. Just kind of just to hold myself accountable and show them like, hey, I locked myself out. So, and I just told them if they can help me with that, because I was going through it where like I'm just blowing so many accounts. Like, you know what? Is it cool with you guys if I just send y'all a picture every day of me locking out as proof that I did? And just finding that way helped me a lot. But that's the only feature I use, locking out.
Yeah, I mean, bro, even that itself is just really big, right? So you have no reason, you cannot act on your tendencies, right? If you have a tendency to crash out, overtrade, over leverage, you cannot do that if you lock yourself out of the account. So literally those little things like that, guys, that is what is going to save you. That is the difference between becoming a profitable trader versus an unprofitable trader. You can make mistakes. Mistakes are okay to make, but at the end of the day, if you aren't learning from these mistakes, you will be in the same position where you are right now. A year will go by, 2 years will go by, and you'll be asking yourself, yourself, overall, why am I not making progress, right? Well, look back in the last year you've been trading, the last 2 years that you've been trading for. Have you really taken action? Have you really decided to make that effort to make a change? Yes or no? You probably aren't doing everything humanly possible to make that change, right? You say that you're holding yourself accountable, but in reality, you're not. You're giving yourself a little bit of leeway. Every single time you do something stupid, you say, the next time, I'll make a change. Nothing ever happens, right? So it is really just about finding a way to hold yourself accountable, bro. Trading isn't really the hardest part. You know, finding a strategy, finding something that works. I mean, I think all profitable traders can agree that is not the hardest part. The hardest part is you. This whole battle of trading is literally you versus you. There is nobody else in the equation, right? With that being said, I think a few more things that I want to talk about is, so whenever you did have losing days, like how did you kind of overcome it and not, even though you locked out and stuff like that, right? You took 2 trades. Going into the next day, how did you not let that loss, like the previous day, kind of affect your trading going into the next day and basically make you rush and, you know, take other trades to just make back the balance?
Yeah, so I had the self-awareness where obviously I wasn't a good loser. Like if I lose, I want to keep trading. I want to make my money back. But like I said, like in January, just doing that little practice of tracking my P&O every day. If I were to take my first initial trades, it's honestly better taking my first loss, you know? So to be able to see that visually, that kind of just helped me first settle things where like, okay, I'm okay with taking losses. And I built that habit where I just trade without carrying. I kind of just understand that today is today and then tomorrow is just a whole different day. You know, the price action is going to be different. I just don't let it impact. Whatever happens yesterday is just yesterday, you know, and every day is new. And then the days where I obviously take a L and I got to lock myself out and everything, obviously it's a hard habit to get out of, like where like it's obviously hard to accept your losing days, but just having an understanding where trading really just demands of you just to follow your rules, you know that long term you'll be able to make money off of this. So I'll be fine with it and I'll just go on with my day, not even thinking about it. I'll just go try to be productive, because again, like I think trading, like how you said, trading is the easy part. It's just really the you versus you part, and what really has helped me the most is just improving my day-to-day life. Like what am I actually doing outside the charts, and that has really helped me, because now my life is, I'm just very disciplined. I'm very productive. I also give myself to-do lists and I'm always completing them, you know, whether it's something trading related, something where I have to do for my church or stuff like that. Like I'm always getting them done.
Yeah, no, bro, that's very, very solid. Honestly, since we're talking about that, I mean, we can just talk about this. What is your life like now compared to before, you know, when you were getting all these payouts? What's actually different? What's different between your life now, between now and then?
Well, obviously that now I'm actually able to help people. You know, back then it's really been tough because I'm a youth president for my church, and a lot of people just throughout my life have always came to me for advice or for anything, because they've always seen me as this mature kid or this wise kid, and I'll be fine with it. I like to help people. But back then I was definitely suffering internally because I would help so many other people, but like no one would help me, you know, and I was going through it really bad, especially with this trading. But I would always show out, and even though I was broke and in debt, I would still invite people. I remember how I would go out to eat with my friends and whatnot, and I'll still offer to pay for all their food, and I didn't even have the money, and I was paying off the credit card. But I learned that throughout life, really the best way to I just learned that the best way to live this life is to serve, to obey God and to serve others, to give. So although I was going through that stuff, it hurt and it sucked, but now thanks to the position and money, I'm actually able to help people. I'm not just financially with that stuff, but I'm able to help others. Like I have friends who are trying to learn trading, and you know, they go also going through some stuff that I went through. It's like, you know, I've been there, so I got you, you know, I can help you with that. And currently I have two of my friends living with me for like the next 30 days. I'm doing my own little nothing to profitable challenge.
Oh, that's tough.
So bro, that's tough. I'm helping them and they're doing good. Like in general, obviously, if they can't get a payout, then my bad. But like my whole goal is really to just disciple each other and get us closer to God, become better human beings. Because like I said, again, I know that ultimately just focusing on that stuff, the results will come, you know, in trading or other stuff in life. And yeah, that's really what's changed. I'm actually able to help people the way that I always wanted to. I feel good about it. I'm able to spoil, I guess, my friends as well, myself, my family. Like, you know what, don't worry, I got it. And without having like that weight or thought like, damn, if I do this, I'm gonna be more in debt or nothing like that. Like I'm chilling, you know. So definitely more grateful, of course, very much more grateful, and yeah.
Yeah, bro. No, that's so far to hear, bro. That's actually so far to hear. It's actually crazy. You know, like when you actually use money the right way, like
Yeah.
you feel so fulfilled. Like you genuinely feel good about yourself and the fact that you know the best way to think about it, the best way to go about it as well is like, bro, the more good that you put out in the world in general, it'll come back to you tenfold. That's just the overall way that I think about life, and it's just crazy, bro. It's just crazy how you get more and more back to you with the more and more good things that you put out in the world, bro. It is really crazy how it works. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, by the way, guys, I'll drop his socials in the description as well. Cause wait, what channels do you have? You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I have TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Okay,
I'm
bet.
trying to build my own
So
community too, but yeah, we get
wait, you said you're doing YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and I'm trying to build my own community as well. So
Community? Okay, fire.
yeah.
Okay. So I'll drop all of his socials down in the description below as well. So make sure to check out his challenge. I bet that's gonna be fire as hell, bro. Trying to
Yeah,
get
I'm
his
trying.
friends 30 days, trying to get his friends to profitability. That's gonna be fire. So yeah, I'll drop it down. Make sure to check that out. Last couple of questions, we can keep it rolling a little bit. Number one question is going back to trading in terms of actually scaling, because I know you were trading with TopStep, and then I think you ended up taking payouts from Tradify as well. How did you go about scaling, and how did you manage, you know, scaling with different prop firms? How did you still maintain and kept that, you know, level head going?
Yeah, so I'm not scaling up that rapidly. I'm just kind of taking my time with it because if I'm getting these max payouts, I'm okay with that right now. But number one, I don't like using third-party copy traders because I like seeing everything organized. Like I want to see the same P&Ls through everything, and I know that sometimes it like glitches or you don't get that. So how I kind of do it is I try to find a trade with. I first start with my TopStep accounts, and from there just find a trade. If I can find something great, I take it, and then I lock myself out, and then from there I just move on to the next platform that I have, like Tradify, for example. I have TopStep, Tradify, and Lucid accounts. I just take them very slow. I don't try to rush it. Take it one by a time because I don't like copy trading all at once. Because if I lose in
Yeah.
all of them, and
Yeah.
I don't like that
Yeah.
feeling. Because again, I'm still working on being a good loser. Because definitely losing is something no one wants to go through. But
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, that's all I got to
Yeah,
be.
yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I guess talking about myself as well, talking about scaling. I mean, bro, with scaling, you don't really have to rush scaling at all whatsoever. For me personally, I didn't actually start scaling with prop firms, or at least tried to start scaling with multiple prop firms. I'm talking like 5, 6 prop firms or TradeSyncer till late last year in September or October. I was talking about this on my socials as well, about how I like basically brutally failed trying to scale with these like 5 or 6 prop firms. I was trading with Alpha, TopStep, Funded Next, My Funded Futures. That's like 4 prop firms. I think there was like 1 more as well. The problem is, you know, the P&Ls, they all like differ and stuff like that. And there was a point where TradeSyncer was glitching, and then I blew like 1 set of accounts on 1 prop firm, and I kept trying to spend more and more money to get back to max allocation with that firm, ultimately putting me at max allocation with all of these firms. And I found that my trading in general just went downhill. Not only because I was trading like 15, 20 accounts at a time, but also the fact that I was so worried about me blowing accounts with 1 prop firm, me trying to get back to max allocation as fast as possible. So I spent, you know, a good amount of money on those evals, and for basically no reason, right? So basically the overall moral of the story is like, you have to understand overall what you're comfortable with when it comes to your own trading, right? Me personally, I trade the best when I trade with like 2 prop firms at a time. All right, I'm able to risk heavier on my accounts, and technically speaking, you know, I'm able to make the same amount of money, or if not even more, trading 1 to 2 prop firms compared to copy trading 5 or 6 prop firms at a time, right? Because with 5 or 6 prop firms, you're going to be a little bit more scared. You're going to start diversifying your risk, lowering your risk because you're trading multiple accounts compared to you trading 1 to 2 prop firms who are able to risk heavy, and it doesn't hurt that much if you do lose those accounts, right? Yeah, so it is really just up to your tendencies, guys, what you feel like in terms of your trading system. Are you more of a risk heavy type of person, or are you the type of person that can handle, you know, taking it really super slow, just going for more of those little days but consistent, and then, you know, you can diversify it across like multiple accounts, right? So yeah, you really have to see what your overall tendencies are. Yeah. With that being said, a few more questions. Number 1 is, when you did end up seeing all this success, how did your friends and family react when, I know that you're posting on social and stuff like that, so either they saw it or you just told them straight up. How did they react?
Well, I mean, like how you said, you know, to even start this stuff, you have to be delusional. So, like,
Yeah.
before anything, I was like, man, I'm gonna make it one day. I know I can.
Yeah.
I will make it. Well, with my friends, I was telling them, like, because at the time I was working, I was still working. I told them, like, this is my goal. If I can get for in the next 3 months $50,000 minimum in a row, then I'll completely stop working for sure. And when I first got my 25K payout, like, bro, let's go with 25K payout. I'm halfway there, and they were celebrating me. And then afterwards, got the 50K, then 75K in February. That's how much I ended. They were really happy for me, and they were believing me because they've seen my hard work. They've seen the times where I would just be in my room, going all in, back testing, journaling, watching psychology videos, trading, literally losing money and everything. Because I've told them before how I was getting in so much debt and everything and all of that. With my family, it was a little bit harder telling them when I started, but mostly with my mom. I have a really close relationship with my mom, and she was very proud of me, and she was believing in me too. I thank God I had support from them, because I know day trading is when you first talk about it, it's like it's not an easy topic to talk about because everyone thinks it's gambling or it's not, it's risky, whatnot. But yeah, it's just they're very proud, and especially when I show them Top Step leaderboard #1.
Yeah, bro.
That was a crazy accomplishment because, like, bro, what the heck am I even doing here? Like, I made 50K and it was awesome. But
yeah, bro. No, I mean, so I guess with my family as well, I didn't really like tell them that I was day trading. And when I went on the leaderboard, when I was #3 on the leaderboard, I just decided to show my mom because she was just asking me how trading was going. Ever since I dropped out of college and just decided to pursue this full time along with content. So yeah, I was showing my mom, and then I think that was like the first time, bro, that she said she was actually proud of me when it came to day trading, which is like it was pretty fire to hear, bro. Because I mean, she showed that to my dad and everything as well. It is a surreal feeling. You kind of feel like you made it and everything, right?
Oh yeah, I was like, man, #1 in the world. Like, come on, So it was fun.
No,
it was
bro.
nice.
It's so fire, bro. It's so fire. Just little things like that, like not even really just the money, but just like the actual recognition that you get. Like the fact that you can show that to other people. It's like, hey, I was literally one day at one specific point, bro. I was literally the #1 trader in the world trading Top Step. Right? Out of like millions and millions and millions of traders on that prop firm, you were #1, right? Which is so that's like the craziest flex, bro.
That is, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, with that being said, I think I wanted to touch up on one thing as well. Journaling. So just talk about I know that you mentioned journaling. Talk about your process really quick, how you go about journaling.
So journaling, I would journal every day, my trades right after journaling. So I would obviously check what time did I take the trade, what was the setup, why did I take it, like what did I see, the reasons, like the draw liquidity, this and that, why it worked, why it didn't, and how I was feeling in general. So I would just criticize myself, saying like, oh, I think you could have done this better, or should have waited a bit more because you entered early or you entered too late. Also tracking like the amount of risk I'm putting in and the contracts I'm putting in. But journaling just helped me in general, just obviously address any issues, because obviously like I could go on and trade and analyze that, oh, I did this wrong, but if I don't journal it, like I'm not going to correct myself, I'm just going to ignore it. But journaling like really does help you just kind of just self-reflect right in that moment. Helps me see where I perform best as well. So like, oh, I do pretty good if I take 1 to 2 RR trades, or I do pretty good when I use the fair value gap in this way and whatnot, stuff like that. And I would also journal just my days, like did I get stuff done for my to-do list, did I pray, did I read my Bible, stuff like that. And that will also help me just correct my life in general, making sure that I was going to the gym, giving time to God, just being productive with my day. Journaling helps, it really does. So
yeah. No, I mean, I talk so much about journaling as well. What I also want to ask is, do you ever like go back and look at your journal?
Yeah, I look back at my journal, just see some examples to remind myself the type of trades that I take. Also just with my personal journal, just always looking back, just trying to always pick up what stuff I do that helps me just improve. Just always like cut off the bad habits and do the good habits. I don't know, I'm like having brain farts right now, but
no, you're good, bro. Don't worry about it. It's pretty long. We're like 40 minutes in right now. So
but I go back just to see what has worked for me that day, and just always try to do the stuff that works for me and do less of the things that don't work for me. Just slowly cutting them off, or slowly just minimizing those bad habits. But yeah, I do go back.
Yeah. I mean, it's just really about having that awareness as well. I will say that, people that are watching this right now, you guys probably journal, you guys probably, look back at your journal, but at the end of the day, if you're not truly applying yourself when it comes, to the live markets and actually, sticking to what you wrote down in your journal and talked about, how you're going to improve this, how you're going to fix this, how you're going to stick to this, and you don't actually remind yourself when you're on the live markets trading, looking at the charts in real time, your journaling doesn't matter at all whatsoever, right? So that's what I tell like a lot of my students as well. Like application and having that self-awareness in real time is what is going to make you profitable, right? Because if you don't have that, you're basically trading with extra steps. There's no point in journaling. You might as well just trade without journaling, and it will be the same exact result, right? So if you are journaling, utilize it, apply yourself, be aware about your tendencies in the live markets when you do journal it after you take trades, right? Now moving on to the very last question I want to ask to wrap everything up. What would you say to people that are like hesitant in joining a community, some sort of group? What would you say to the people that are on the fence of joining communities in general?
I would say do it. You're gonna learn a lot from other people as well. You're gonna get to see people like me where they can inspire you. Again, all glory be to God. But I've been receiving a lot of messages of how I'm just inspiring people, or how they really think they can also do it as well. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I can be that for people. Again, like I said, I just want to help others. So definitely do it. You're gonna find inspiration. You're gonna find a community that really help each other out. Just put anything in there and you'll definitely get feedback. You get to build relationships, and you get to just relate with other people, because day trading it's kind of like also like a lonely career. Like again, when I started, it was just me. My friends weren't doing it, no one was doing it. And when I started, I didn't tell anyone as well. So it's very lonely. So definitely get involved with other people, get involved with communities, take advantage of all the resources, people, because again, like, especially if you're barely starting out, there's people with experience for sure in the communities, and they could tell you things that they wish they could have started with whenever they were starting. So I'd say you do it. Take that action to do it, because if not, you're probably going to still be hesitating. You're probably going to not even take action. You're going to be left wondering. And honestly, I'd say like by joining a community, you can shorten down that time of you becoming profitable, because you can right away take advantage of a lot of resources that people can provide for you, where it will take longer for you to even find out by yourself. So
yeah, exactly. It's just really about resonating with people that you see on social media, and overall just finding overall way to streamline the information, right? There's tons of information that you see on social media. You don't know what to see, or you don't know what to trust. You don't know what is right, what is wrong. But in reality, it is you, right? Pick whoever you resonate with, and join a community, especially if you find yourself struggling, right? And find somebody that's trusted, obviously, that is showing proof, of students getting payouts, of them getting payouts, the actual mentor themselves getting payouts, right? Showing real, legitimate proof, right? That is all very, very important to take into consideration, and then join that community. And honestly, the biggest thing is just surrounding yourself with like-minded people. I think that's just the real biggest thing. That overall accelerates the process, because obviously it is very easy to learn trading in general, right? Your strategy and everything like that. But just getting inspiration, from people like Isaac, and just people that there's like, a good amount of people in that same community on the same journey as you, that's what keeps going. That's what keeps you going, right? Especially on days where you feel like things are super rough, and you feel like giving up, you can just go back to your community. You can ask people for advice, right? People are super friendly in these communities as well, and we're overall all here to help each other grow at the end of the day, right? We're all here to achieve the same goal, obviously, which is success in trading. So yeah, I mean, we're all here to lift each other up, bro. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But with that being said, bro, that is the end of the interview, guys. Thank you, Isaac, for coming on here. I guess before we wrap everything up, what is your final words before we end this interview?
Well, yeah, I mean, seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and the rest shall be added unto you. Like I said earlier, what really has helped me most is just serve in obedience, because there was a time in the Bible where the disciples were fighting amongst each other. Who is the best among them? But Jesus told them, none of you are the best. If you want to be the best, you must be last, and you must serve everyone. And that's just how I learned to just live life and do things, and help me out a bunch. And I know it can help you guys out too, because it'll keep you humble. It'll keep you always looking at God first, focusing on God first, and the rest is the rest. And yeah, and if you guys got it, don't give up. I feel maybe there's other people in worse positions, but trust me, it was tough for me, and I was able to get out of it. It just takes hard work, dedication, discipline, being consistent, but most importantly, having God with you. And really having God is a game changer. It's better to have him on your side than not having him on your side. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. Yeah, but with that being said, that is the end. If you guys aren't already in the free Discord, I will see you guys inside. I'll leave it in the description below as well. So make sure to join the free Discord, get access to the community. But once again, Isaac, thank you for coming on here. Super, super inspirational. This was a fire interview. But yeah, guys, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out. See you guys in the next one. All right, peace.